Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new to my channel, my name is Crystal and I post as often as I can in regards to just different positivity and ways to deal with certain things. I have some medical conditions. If you watch some of my previous videos, you will see about that, but just kind of how I deal with my day-to-day. So today's video comes to you after a very rough week, all of it. As I had mentioned in my last video, last week Rick went into the emergency room. He's still hurting, but not anything like he was. Since then, we are now at like over $500 in the last 3 weeks towards medical expenses between the two of us. So that's money that I did not have set aside or have ready. So financially, I'm extremely, extremely stressed out. Physically, my body has been on a rampage. I had tickets to go see Beauty and the Beast on Sunday, and I felt so utterly miserable. I had to pass on going, which is one of the most frustrating things I deal with, is having to back out on things that I'm really excited to do. But that was a really hard one because I've been waiting for that movie for a long time. So hopefully we get to go after we get our finances squared away through all of the money we'd spent on medical stuff. But as soon as we can afford it, that's something I really, really want to do. Going to the movies is kind of a challenge for me because the sound is a bit overwhelming. I am very sensitive to sound, and movies tend to be really loud for me. Another problem I have is staying comfortable trying to sit, and that's a challenge. I lock up, my body hurts, I can't stay in one position very long. So sitting through an entire movie is next to impossible. If I can even do it, it's a huge challenge. And most importantly is my focus. Most days, 9 out of 10 times, my focus isn't there. I can't follow a storyline. But the good news is I know the Beauty and the Beast storyline because it was my favorite movie growing up and still is my favorite Disney movie. So I'm hoping that at least with that part I can manage and have a somewhat normal date and go to see Beauty and the Beast in the theater. We will see. Another thing that's really hit me hard is I am on Social Security for disability. I had a hard time getting it because I'm so young. I had to do the court, I had to do everything. So that was really stressful and it really got into my head. I started wondering if I was making things up in my head or if things weren't as bad as I thought they were because the way that Social Security was treating me. Well, it's been a year and a half since I was approved, and so I have to do my eligibility review, I think is what it's called, and that is a lot. I can't fill it out. The lines are too small, it's too much concentration, it's too much focus. It's not something I can do. I can't make the pen right where I want it to, and as small as it needs to be, the anxiety is extremely high around that because it takes me back to a place where I felt like they were calling me a liar for months and months and months to years of my life. So I filled out Rick filled out the first form, and we mailed it back, and then they sent 2 more saying they needed more information, which all just sends me into a panic as it is. From what I understand, that's very normal, but to me, it takes me back to that place of anxiety where we had nothing and we're losing our home and everything else due to waiting for disability. So, one form was for Rick to fill out, one form was for me to fill out. It looked like they were kind of similar similar forms, just one was in my perspective, one was in his perspective. Unfortunately, though, I could not fill mine out, so he filled both of them out. There was a spot to say that he did, so we weren't doing anything bad, I don't think. I just couldn't do it. And he's really the only one who's here day to day to sit and help me fill it out because he's who's around me. There's not really anyone else who comes and sits long enough to fill out a, 10, 20 page form about my daily stuff, especially when part of it was me not being able to focus on the question. The anxiety was making it hard for me to find answers. So Rick would talk over the question with me, and then we would discuss the answer. So I would throw things out there if I could. Otherwise, I would just say, I don't know. And he would start asking me questions to narrow it down, and he made me realize things that I would forget or not have thought of answering. So it took us 2.5 hours to fill out one of the 2 forms, but we got them done. We mailed them off the next day because I don't want to make them wait. I don't want to make this process any slower than it needs to be. I just hope that they will read it with a compassionate heart and understand and know how hard it is for me to talk about all the things that I cannot do. And hopefully they will just understand, because it is definitely not something that I want to dwell on. I like to talk about how positive I am. I like to talk about the good things in my life. And regardless of the bad, there is still all those good things. That doesn't change. But it is really, really hard to sit there and discuss and go over everything I can't do. I like to say that I write my life like a resume. I always try to write the most positive and best aspects of everything. So when you have a form where you have to sit and dwell on the negatives, it takes a lot out of me. And so we did that, I think it was last week. I can't even remember. Yeah, because today's only Tuesday, I think. So that was late last week. I got it mailed out the next day. But in honesty, it took a lot out of me to sit and discuss all the things that I cannot do for my family, to sit and discuss all the things that impair me from day to day, to realize how very little I actually can get in a car and drive, to realize how little social events I partake in. It's eye-opening and it's sad, and I don't like it, and I don't like to focus on that part of my life, but it does take me a while to bounce out of that after having to do those forms. So hopefully one day someone from Social Security will see this and know how thankful I am for having the option to have worked long enough to have saved up enough credits to be on Social Security at such a young age. And hopefully they'll understand when they look at someone young and who has good days now and then that it's so deceiving. It's kind of like the video I posted before. It's so deceiving because I am so positive and so happy, and I want to see the best in every situation and make the best of every situation. And with medical conditions, that comes back to bite me, because where I'm just trying to be positive, doctors and lawyers and Social Security sees it as I'm healthy. And unfortunately, that's very far from the truth. I have friends and people close to me that will have a hard time. I feel like I take on a lot of my anxiety about the way people see me. So I have situations where close friends will act a certain way or say a certain thing, and in my head I think they're judging me. I think they don't believe me. I think that I'm not doing enough for them, or I'm not showing my pain enough. I'm not being honest enough to tell people, kind of back to that same positivity and that same quest I gave you a while back. I think it was 2 videos ago, where I said to not judge a book by its cover, and to for sure be honest when someone asks you how you're doing. I think that that's important, because I've kind of lost that, and I've stopped doing that as much as I should have. And when I challenged you guys to do it, it really brought it back to my eyes that I was slacking in that department. But something as simple as just being honest when someone asks you how you are can really help them see into what you're dealing with, rather than, well, she always says she's fine, or she always says she's good, when I'm not. I just don't want to burden anyone with how I really feel. So, sorry that this video is so much more negative than I want, and that I'm stumbling over my words and fidgeting with things in my hands, because it's just been a bad week. But as promised, I want to be as real as possible, and I can't just post when I'm overly positive and have some great challenge and positivity for you, because that's not real, and that's not a real look into my life. And if I want to be an open book for you, just like answering honestly when asked how I'm doing, I also want to be honest with you when I'm not doing good, and I'm not being as positive as I hope to be. And so that is what this video is about. just an honest view into a less positive, less put together, less feeling good. Um, it just is what it is. And I am a lot better today than I was, say, Sunday. But even with that being said, I'm still not great. I'm still not where I want to be. But I'm getting there day by day. I got to have lunch with a great friend yesterday, and that's amazing on my soul. Another friend picked me up, and we went for a car ride just to get out of the house. That was nice. Um, Other than that, I just kind of have been sitting around a lot. I don't think I left the house at all Sunday. Bean, stop! Sorry, the cats are talking. Bean. We had a thunderstorm here a while back, and my cats are in rare form because of it. Bean, stop, buddy. But yeah, so aside from daily life taking a toll and having to focus so much on the negative, having a really negative week where my body hated me and I had a hard time catching up, still trying to catch up. I really, really hope that all of you out there can watch this and feel like maybe you're fighting for a battle and someone's making you feel like you don't deserve it, which was the case with me in Social Security. Maybe you're having medical stuff. Maybe you're having a hard time getting around. Maybe you've had to cancel on plans that were very important to you. Whatever it may be, please know that you're not alone. Please know that you're valid, your feelings are valid, your opinions are valid. You're not wrong for putting yourself first as far as not going out when you really don't feel like it. Please know that I can't even find the words for it, but that you're not alone and that you are valid, your feelings and your emotions are valid, your pain is valid, everything you experience is valid. So please, please, please don't let anyone make you feel less than important, less than truthful, less than you are, because you are a very important person to a lot of people. So just know how valuable you are, regardless of how many plans you've had to cancel. And please, as always, feel free to ask me anything you want to ask me. Share stories if you just want to get something off your chest. If it's personal, I will link my email below so that you don't have to and feel like that needs to be private or, public. I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can, depending on how quickly I'm able to type and or use my voice to text. But I will read them, and I will be there for you as best I can. If it's not private and you want to put it in the comments below, that's fine too. But just know that I'm here for you. Any story, any situation, it doesn't matter. I want to know. I want to know what your feelings are. Also, if you have something you would like me to talk about, questions you have about me, or just about positivity, or anything you want me to address, maybe even my battle with Social Security, anything you have questions about or want me to address, please feel free. Also, comments or email below, and I can address them through a comment back, an email back, or if you prefer a video. Because, I'm always looking for what people want to hear about. I want to make these videos for you, and I want to make them for what you want to know. So please let me know, email, comments, what you'd like to hear about, what you'd like me to talk about, questions you'd like me to answer. I'd be happy to do a video where I just answer questions if I get enough of them. And I'll open that up on my Facebook and my Instagram. I will also link those below for you in case that you want to watch some of my other daily things. Other than that, I thank you so, so much for watching. Please feel free to subscribe. I'll put a little bubble up here to click on if you'd like to subscribe. If you are subscribed or you would like to subscribe and you want to know when I update and post videos, there's a bell up in the corner over here somewhere that you can link or click on that will inform you when I post new videos. Other than that, though, I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing, beautiful day and a wonderful rest of your week. And I hope to have a more positive update and challenge for you coming in the next couple days. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful